Hey guys, happy Thursday. Just thought I would do a short video for you guys talking about Helen of Wyndhorn, issue number 4. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so Helen of Wyndhorn 4, written by Tom King, with art by Bilquis Evely, Matthias Lopez, and Clayton Cowles on colors. This title has been really excellent. It tells a story about Helen, whose father, C.K. Cole, was a writer in the 1930s, and he wrote pulp fiction, and he wrote stories of high fantasy, Conan stories. He was pretty much like Robert E. Howard, but he killed himself in a hotel room. And she has been, through this, an alcoholic who came to Wyndhorn as a ward of her grandfather. And he knew what day was coming. And so in this issue, that day comes. She begs to be trained as a warrior. And after a couple of years of training with Joseph, the butler, who is much more than he appears, then she is ready for battle. And she goes with her grandfather to these amazing worlds that her father, C.K. Cole, had talked about in his novels. It's like his stories are coming to life, and it's other worlds that her and her grandfather Barnabas can travel to. And so, as they travel, she has these fights against creatures that don't have any real words to describe them, although this is Tom King, so he's quite verbose with his vernacular in these titles and when he talks about them. But she gets harmed in one of these trips, and it takes a long time for her to tell the story of what happened, but they were attacked by these eagle creatures, these winged creatures. And through this, she has shown nothing but love to Barnabas. She loves him for what he has made her. But he brings her the head of these creatures, the king of these creatures. And he says, "You're not going to travel with me anymore because you let me down. And you were wounded just like your father was." And so she responds, "You don't know anything about my father." This was an issue of character growth and character development. It gave a different level of understanding to who Helen is now. Helen has been an alcoholic playgirl that didn't seem to take anything seriously until she came to Wyndhorn and she came to understand the worlds that her father created, the strengths and the weaknesses of that world, and the characters. She wanted to be like one of his characters that he had created. And she came to understand that only by learning to be a fighter like her grandfather could she be this person that she wanted to be, that he wanted her to be. Or at least that's what she thought. So through this artwork, through this story, you learn more about her grit and her wherewithal and exactly what Helen is built of. She wants to fight, not because she's a brawler, not because she spends time drinking, and she's pretty much a female human version of Thor. That's not why she wants to fight. She wants to fight because of the exhilaration, because of getting to explore new things and new places and meet new people. And that's what most of everybody wants to do in life, is we want to go on these adventures. We want to explore. We want to see new things, eat new things, try, new things with new people. And we want to see their face when we go on these adventures. We want to see what their what their thoughts are on that pizza that we love. We want to see their thoughts on the graffiti that's on the side of derelict buildings that's trying to bring those buildings somewhat back to life. We want to share a hamburger from a hole-in-the-wall joint that now no longer exists. And through those adventures, we become much more than we ever could be if we just sat at home and watched Netflix and watched TV. Instead, we reach our full potential as a human, as a person, as a construct within this world that we live in. And Helen wants to be a particular cog, not because of being rough and gruff, but because she feels like it's a way to honor her grandfather and her father. So the anger and the frustration at the end of that episode, this issue, is palpable. You can see how angry she is that her grandfather has taken away this one opportunity, this one thing that she loves more than partying, more than alcohol, more than any other vice. She has come to love the exploration of these worlds that have become more real to her than her own reality at Wyndhorn. So bravo again, Tom King, Bilquis Evely, Matthias Lopez, and Clayton Cowles for crafting what is one of the very best comics that I've read in a long time. Because the way that I like to read books, I like to read world-building books. I like to read real characters. And these characters, more so than reading Peter Parker lately in Amazing Spider-Man, is a real character that leaps off the page and doesn't beg for your attention, but grabs you by the throat and says, look here. Look at what I'm talking about. Look at what I'm doing. Look at these adventures that I'm going on, and look at me as a person. Don't look at me as the disparate parts of my nature, but instead look at me and see me. So, if you guys hadn't had a chance to check this series out, it comes with A++ in my book. I really think it's one of the greatest things that I have read lately as far as miniseries, and I can't wait to see how it finishes up at the end of September. I'm really, really stoked about this. So, have you guys been reading it? Pop in the comments below. Let me know whether you've tried this, what you think about it, what your thoughts are on the writer, on the artist. And let's start a conversation, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you in the next video.